Hello, this is Andy, and we're going to study Beautiful One, and we're going to break it down into 4 sections. We're going to learn the verse, we're going to learn the chorus, we're going to practice the bridge, and then we're going to learn the ending. Okay, well, let's just start from the top. The chords used in this song are G, A, D, and then there's a B minor. Okay, now I'm going to assume that you know all those chords. Look them up in the chord dictionary if you don't know them. And whether you do the easy B minor or the full B minor, either way is fine. In fact, I think we should go over that real quick. The easy B minor is finger 1 playing 2nd fret on the high E string, finger 2 playing the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, and finger 3 playing the 4th fret on the 3rd string. So you've got 3 strings in a row. It makes a diagonal line, 1, 2, 3. And also you could hit the open D with this chord. So with your pick, you strum the 4 skinniest strings. That's an easy B minor. A lot easier than the bar chord B minor. Okay, now let's jump into the tune. So we're going to start with G, and we're going to hit it 4 times. And we're going to hit A 4 times. And we're going to hit D 8 times. Okay, that's the first line of the song. That's the first line of the verse. So here we go. We're going to play all of that, G4, A4, and D8. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. G, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. D, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you go. Okay, now the second line starts to look the same because you do G4 and A4 again, so that seems pretty familiar. But this time you don't go to D. This time you play the B minor for 8 counts. So the second line sounds a little different. Second line has kind of an unresolved sort of sound. So let's work on that second line. G, A, and then B minor. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. G, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. B minor, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you go. There's the second line. Now when you get to the third line, it's just the same thing as the first line again, so it looks like you know it. And then when you get to the fourth line, once again, it's the same as the first line again. Okay, you just learned all 4 lines of the verse. 3 of the lines are exactly the same. The second line is the only one that's different. Okay, let's play the entire verse all the way through. So we have G, A, D, G, A, B minor, then G, A, D, G, A, D. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. G, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. D, 2. Just try to catch up with me. Keep it going. Second line. G, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. B minor, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. G, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. D. Fourth line coming up. G, A, D. There you go. Okay, now I've heard this song played many times with palm muting on the verses. A lot of times when you're trying to build a song and you're trying to add dynamics to the song, you want it to start soft, and then when you get to the chorus, you play with more energy and you play louder. Then, of course, when you get to the second verse, you go back to soft again. Then when you get to the chorus, you play louder with more energy. That's basically how just about every gospel and praise and worship song goes. You want to vary the dynamics and make it more interesting that way. So what I'm trying to say is that in the verse, we don't want to play full volume. We want to hold back a little bit so that when we get to the chorus, we can really let it rip. Okay, so what we should do is we should play the verse with palm muting. So take your right hand, place it halfway on the bridge and halfway on the strings so that the palm of your hand is covering the very end of the string. Now if you play, you get kind of a thud. You can still hear the notes, but they don't ring out. It sounds like that. Okay, now I might, instead of playing all 6 strings, I might just only play the 3 lowest strings, or the 4 lowest strings. Like that, so get a little less sound. I get more bass and less highs that way. I'll save the highs for when I get to the chorus. Okay, so we're going to play the verse of the song with palm muting now. Always playing the lowest sounding strings from every chord. Here we go. Play it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. G. Start to get rid of my palm muting because I know the chorus is right here. So on that final chord, on that final D chord, I'm going to start with palm muting, then I'm going to gradually slide my hand toward the bridge and away from the guitar strings. That way I get a little less palm muting with each stroke, so it's going to be just a gradual change. Each note rings out a little bit more. It's a signal. It says, here comes the chorus. The sound is changing. Okay, so the energy builds there into the chorus. Okay, I think you got the entire verse. Good job. Let's move on. So now it's time to play the chorus. It's very similar as far as the chord structure. You play G for 4 beats and A for 4 beats. That's pretty familiar. Then you do it again. G for 4 beats, A for 4 beats. Then you do it again. G for 4 beats, A for 4 beats. Then finally you put that D in for 8 counts at the end. So the chorus uses the same chords, but the counting is a little different. And we're going to play it with full volume. I'm going to play all the strings. I'm going to let it ring out, so no palm muting. Okay, so here we go. G, A, G, A, G, A. Then put the D in at the end. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, A, G, A, G, A. Here's the D. Okay, there it is. Now when we get to the final chord of the chorus is going to kind of wind down, and we're basically taking the volume knob of the song and we're turning it down because we know we're about to go into another verse where we're going to play soft. So when I get to the final chord of the chorus, I'm going to play like this. So I'm going to fade it out. I'm going to start loud, and then with each strum I get a little bit softer, kind of fading out. So the chorus is ramping down because we're about to go into another verse. So adding these dynamics in is a good thing to practice because you can't just wing it on the dynamics. You have to have a plan and they have to be rehearsed. You have to work on it and get it just right. So don't say to yourself, oh, well, I'll just do that while I'm on stage. Okay, well, rehearse it now and get ready. Make sure you know exactly what to do. Okay, let's do the chorus and let's practice winding down on that last chord. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. Then at that point in the song, usually you play another verse and you play another chorus. And after all that's done, you jump into the bridge. Okay, now the bridge is the part that says, "You've opened my eyes to your wonders anew, captured my heart with this love, 'cause nothing on earth is as beautiful as you." Okay, it's basically the same chords as the chorus, except when you do the bridge, you play it differently. So it's not like you have to learn any new chords or any new counting. It's still G, A, G, A, G, A, D. Same thing as the chorus. But in the bridge, you're going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So you're going to hold each chord out for 4 beats. Strum it, let it ring. So just ring out every chord. Strum it nice and slow like this. Give it a brush with the pick. Don't strum it real fast like this. Strum it slowly. Like that. Okay, there's the bridge. Every chord is going to hold for 4 beats. Okay, let's review that. So when you get to the bridge, play G, 1, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, B, 2, 3, 4, B, 2, 3, 4. Notice I hit B twice. Once to hold for 4 counts, and then again to hold for another 4 counts. So that makes 8 beats on the B minor. Then you play it all again. G, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, and then here we're going to play D twice to fill in 2 measures. D, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4. We did it again. We hit 2 Ds in a row. One of them lasted for 4 counts, and then the other one lasted for 4 counts. So we got 8 counts on D. Okay, I'd like to explain a little bit more about this section. You'll notice that we have G, A, G, A, G, A, B minor, and then we have G, A, G, A, G, A with a D. Okay, so when you play B minor, it kind of leaves the phrase unfinished. It sounds like you're not done yet. There's more music to come. When you play your D, it sounds like a conclusion. It sounds like that's the end, you're finished. This section is over. So B minor, I guess we call that a deceptive cadence. And D is more like a tonic resolution. So you don't have to remember all that stuff. I'm just going into music theory. B minor is chord 6 in this key. Whenever you go to chord 6, which is a minor chord, it always kind of leaves you feeling up in the air, like this isn't it. There's got to be something else after that. And whenever you land on D, it sounds like that's the end. That's a conclusion chord. So just remember that B minor makes it sound unfinished, and D always sounds like a conclusion chord in this song. And the reason for that is because this song is in the key of D. So D is chord 1, it's the tonic chord. Okay, well, it's time to move on. We've learned the verse, we've learned the chorus, we've learned the bridge. Let's learn the ending. Now when you get to the ending, you still play the same chord progression from the chorus, G, A, G, A, G, A, D. But the way that most bands usually do it is they chop, and they get the crowd to clap, and people stomp their feet and bob their head, and it's all about rhythm, and you don't really play much, so it's more like this. So you might tap on your guitar, and you're going to chop off every chord so it's very short. So I want you to try to practice this. Play me a G, and right after you strum, chop the strings with the side of your hand. And let's see how short you can make the G. How short is it possible to play that chord? How fast can you strum and then chop? Give me the shortest chord you got. Very short. As soon as you strum, you immediately chop. That's the way this ending goes. Okay, so let's put some silence between each chord and keep the beat. I'm just going to tap on the top of my guitar like this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, G. 2, 3, 4. A. 2, 3, 4. G. 2, 3, 4. A. 2, 3, 4. G. 3, 4. A. Okay, then play the D out for 8 counts. Back to the chops again. Hopefully the song leader will get everyone to clap in this section. It's all about the singing. It's not about the guitar. Okay, always ring out the D though. There it is. There is the final section of the tune. Okay, now feel free to put scratches in too. Let's talk about that. This is another very common thing for guitar. Instead of tapping on the top of the guitar to keep the beat, I'm just going to take my fingers and lay all 4 fingers very gently across the strings. Not in any specific area, but just anywhere. And with all 4 fingers gently touching the strings without pressing down, if you play, you don't get any notes. You just get dead strings. It's a useful drum sound for the middle of a song. Okay, give it a try. Okay, the only downfall is you have to go from playing a chord to immediately placing the fingers all straight like this. Kind of leaves your hand out of position to play the next chord. So if you're not fast at switching chords, this is going to seem kind of tough. But you might want to just practice it slow for a while. Just play the chord, and then take your fingers and then lay them across the strings. Once the strings have stopped, because your fingers are touching them and they've eliminated the vibration, then give us that scratching sound. Then you have to set up the next chord and continue to play. Just try it slow for a while, you'll get it. Okay, so there's the scratching sound that you can use for the end. One final comment on this song is usually most worship bands like to just kind of fade out at the end of this song, meaning that when you get to the very last chorus, the drummer will drop out, the keyboard will drop out, the bass will drop out, everyone will drop out, and the leader, who's the singer and the guitar player, will just play all by himself, and he'll just sing the last line of the song nice and slow all by himself. It makes a nice ending. Okay, let's talk about that. So when you play the final line of the song, where you play G, A, D, and this is going to be the end of the song. This is the last line of the song. Instead of strumming and instead of being the beat, what you're going to do is you're going to place your fingers in the shape of a G and then just pick each individual string. We'll just use 4 strings. Okay, and notice my hand is resting against the guitar right here on the bridge so that my pick can operate without my arm or my hand moving around. I'm resting up against the guitar, so I have a nice solid hand position. Then I'm playing the 4 lowest strings one at a time. Same story on A, except this time I start my pick on the A string, obviously, the 5th string. And then same story on D. Of course, your pick starts on the D string, the 4th string. There you go, there's the end of the song. And you really take your time with those. You don't play them up to speed with the song. You just take your time and you go a little slower and a little slower and a little slower. You really slow it down. And you just hold on this last note, make them wait for it, then play. Okay, so that's your typical ending to this song. Okay, so that's it. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you next time.